I got to meet him first time, so it was a lot of fun and cool. It definitely, my social battery was at the end of it, so the fact that he can do that 24/7 is wild to me.
Were you familiar with his content, or do you watch his content much?
Yeah, I've watched him, or especially known of him. The influence he has. I've seen a lot of times when he goes to other countries and everything is unreal. Unlike anything I've seen for sure. So yeah, I'm online quite a bit, so it's hard not to see him on my feed.
What was his reaction like once you got done with the ride-along?
He was really shocked of the G-forces on his neck and his side and how loud everything was. Obviously, at times it's tough to tell the act between truth, right? A little bit, but I definitely don't think he was faking too much out of the car his first time.
What's the coolest thing about taking an athlete or an actor or someone into your world? Because even people who watch it on a day-to-day basis or are fans often don't get to see what that ride-along is like.
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything else. It's like when a firefighter or whoever comes to your school, right? You don't really understand it. When you're a kid, it's no different than anything else in life that you don't understand, how much effort goes into a lot of things, even though it might look really simple, right? So, yeah, it's great to have anybody come into our world and see how complicated it is, how technical it is, and ultimately get the sights and sounds that whether they didn't see it on TV or on TV, it's tough to tell at all.
Did you try to scare him at all? I know.
I got as close to the wall as I could. We went a little over 160, so that thing was on the chip, and I tried to get as close to the wall as I could. On the competition side, I would say, I was just getting ready for Darlington, but truthfully, I was just trying to make him a little nervous.
Did he say anything to you during the ride? I didn't see the video, but did you see anything?
I could hear him a little bit. I don't know if he was saying English. I didn't know if he knew what he was saying yet, but it was definitely funny. You could see him, reacting and a little bit shocked. I think he had probably a bit of an idea of what he was going to do in reaction, for the show part of it, and I think that all kind of probably fell out the window, when he actually felt all the sights and sounds.
Competition-wise, how do you reflect on what this regular season was for you in the 77 team?
Yeah, I mean, I think we were super fast, so yeah, it's just ultimately resetting for next year. I mean, it's no different than today, right? You qualify terrible because you blow up, and how are you supposed to control that? You go out first, you clean the track off, and everybody just goes faster behind you. It's hard to improve on that, and we've had a lot of those that we had to dig out of a hole. So a lot of races that it's just like, even the races where nothing went wrong, it would have been nice to just know, if we just could have not qualified, going out third and qualifying in the 20s or 30s, you just kind of just always buried and digging out of a hole, and felt like our speed was able to do that. It's just not, easy to, be a dominant day or super upfront day and put it all together when you don't have all the cards, at least somewhat flowing in your way.
Going off of that, what would a successful final 10 look like for the 77 and for Spire?
Just running good. I don't know. I think the year's already been pretty successful for us. I mean, we're like 8th in stage points, right? I think we're 31st in finishes, and 5 to 6 of them are, the same as last week. They just come to us and just go, yeah, it's one in a million opportunity. We don't know why, don't know how. I'd much rather have made a mistake or wrecked or done something, so then I know I could we can improve on it and know that it's racing that you might not have any control of your destiny at all.
So,
My Place Hotels is proud to be the official hotel partner of Front Stretch. With plush beds, in-room kitchens, and pet-friendly hotels, My Place makes for the perfect pit stop when traveling. Front Stretch fans can use promo code FRONTSTRETCH to save 10% on your stay at any of our nationwide properties. Sign up for our Stay Rewarded program to get even more savings. With My Place Hotels, don't just stay, stay rewarded.
From a competition standpoint, what would a successful final 10 weeks look like for the 71 and for Spire? You're still in the first year with this team.
Same as the first 26 to get a win. It's still the same goal. The goal hasn't really changed, so I feel like that's still the goal.
Do you have a race in particular that you guys have circled as, hey, this is the one we want to pinpoint in these final 10?
Darlington this week, and then I think Gateway next week, right? Yeah, just week by week. It's not really, anything circled other than building momentum and building, just confidence and results and a notebook to get ready for, next year.
Do you approach this weekend any differently, knowing now this year you were racing playoff cars, last year you were trying to get into the playoffs? Is it any different where it's at in the schedule?
No. I mean, obviously the schedule's different, right? So how this race will play out will be a little bit different, just because of the fact that historically the playoffs, the first few races there are about not beating yourself, where last year was a cutoff and trying to get in. And so I think people were kind of throwing caution to the wind when it came to strategy and it came to how you approach it, where I think the playoff guys, win in, you advance for sure, but they're just trying not to get 30th at the first few here. So I think it changes the overall feel of the race and the restarts, but you just got to stay towards the front and give yourself a fighting chance.
The playoff-wise, we're not in it, so it doesn't matter to me what happens on that side of it. But yeah, it's just it's a racetrack that, it's a tough place for sure. I'm always learning to be better here, but you're in for a grind at this race.
What are your thoughts on trucks going to St. Pete next year?
I'll be honest, I hadn't thought anything about it. So I'd be lying to you if I gave you a real answer, because I hadn't. I think more than anything, I think it's cool doing crossover events again. Like that to me is what's cool about it, but hadn't put any other thought to it.
Obviously, there's a manufacturer roadblock. Could we see you potentially in a Collab truck start next year?
You'd have to talk to Matt and Chris about that. It's the same answer as always. They want me to drive something, I'll drive it. I'm not sure how the rules work on it, so that's a way better question for both of them.
AJ, as you continue trying to, make progress for next season with just the Cup program overall, are there any remaining tracks on the schedule that you're kind of looking at, like, hey, this is a good benchmark for where we're at?
No, I think all the last 10 races. Actually, let's go 9. It's Talladega. There's no benchmark there. It's just luck of the draw. So yeah, I think like all these racetracks, it's about constantly trying to improve. A place like here, we showed speed in the spring at times. We had an okay finish, but we can always be better here. I can definitely be better here. But no, so I don't pinpoint one certain race. I think, it's about going out there and just trying to finish every race strong and just trying to learn, and we don't know if the rules will be exactly the same next year. What may change, but the more we learn, and the better off we'll be going into next year for sure.
And as far as just from a, consistency standpoint, the expectations that Ty's going to be back in there with you, how much easier will it make that progression having, the two same drivers again? Yeah,
it's, and I think that's, part of our Cup program that's been tough at times is whether one of the cars has got different drivers in it, or we're switching drivers going into each year. Hopefully Ty's back, and I've really enjoyed working with him. I think we, kind of feel the car the same way. The RCR relationship with Kyle and Austin has been really good this year. So if we can, try to, the biggest thing is to try to keep everything as close as we have this year and just keep building on it.
So last fall's Darlington race had 26 lead changes, and then in the spring we've had the least amount of lead changes since the 1990s, I believe. So which side of the coin do you see this weekend being with the track and distance and how everything's going to play out?
Well, perfect world, I lead every lap. That'd be make the race most boring as possible, because we led every lap. Will that happen? Probably not. But it's part of motorsports. I know we get in this concept that every race has got to be this, oh my God, nose to tail, side by side, door banging to the finish, but it is motorsports, and at times somebody does go out there and kick your ass. That's a part of life, and I know it's not the most exciting thing sometimes, and you know, we jump to conclusions, and no doubt that certain racetrack, the racing's got to be better than it's been, but there could be somebody that goes out there and figures it out and dominates the race and leads, you know, 3/4 of the race, and that's it. That's life sometimes. That's motorsports, and you know, so we'll see what happens.
I'm Caleb Barnes with FrontStretch.com. Come back soon for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.